need you to kind of just unmute yourself and start talking. That's the only thing. So now we're in the Q&A session if you're listening to this recording, and anything goes. You know, if you're like, I want to hit diamond in 30 days, Summer, what do I do? This would be your time to ask, you know, or I want to do this and I need to reverse engineer it. Let's do it. Let's see. Woo, my computer is falling. I'm losing my voice. Okay.
Summer, what's a mastermind?
Who's asking? I can't see who's talking.
Sorry, this is Samantha Hannigan.
Okay, cool. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm really good. Okay, so a mastermind would be just like pulling your team together, you know, like a smaller group, maybe like 10, you know, like Shalene teaches masterminds. John Maxwell teaches them, and it's not necessarily a place of teaching. You can teach a little bit, but it's a place of action and talking and sharing like best practices and then getting off. You know what I mean? I was just reading about, you know, the effectiveness of masterminds and all that kind of stuff. You don't want to stay on a mastermind really more than 30 minutes, a true mastermind. You know, we live in a society where people love meetings, community. Don't get me wrong, I love community, but there's other things that I hate and I need to work on them, and so do you. So does that make sense?
Yes.
And you can start those, do you know what I mean? You can say like, hey, you know, I'm going to provide, like if I have some people in here that have a downline, you know, of coaches or something, you could say like, hey, this is honestly what I would do if I was like a Star Diamond coach or something. I would start masterminds. I would do my phase 1, and then I would offer masterminds, like 2 a week options that are 30 minutes each. And then when people come to you for questions, I would point them to the team page or to your mastermind. Great call, great question. Let's dig in on the mastermind so everybody can learn together. Let me tell you why, because your people are going to duplicate you. And if you're available for every whim, see, some of you guys, it's not that you're bad at selling sales. Like some people are like, I'm just not good at sales. See, told you so. It's not that you're bad at sales. It's just like you've taken Nordstrom service to the nth degree to where they think you rock at Nordstrom service, but they had no way in hell they ever want to do what you do because you're available all the time. Like if you showed up to Nordstrom's like at 9:30 and it closed, and the next day you're leaving for Belize and you just needed that bikini, like I can see it. There is not a little thing underneath that says, if you got here late and you really need the manager, text me and I'll come right over and let you in, right? That's crazy, but y'all keep going back to Nordstrom's, right? You know what I mean? You can have Nordstrom service without being available 24/7. If you're available 24/7 and you're answering, it's more of an ego thing. It's like being like, people are probably telling you like, really, like that thing is not legit, man. Like that stupid thing you're doing, you know, people at the top only make money. You know, I wish you could tell them our story because I'm not at the top. I'm on the inside, but bottom. But anyway, that's a whole other story that debunks that one. But do you see what I'm saying? Like, people are, you know, and people are feeding you that stuff, right? And you're like, yes, it is legit, and I'm going to show you it's legit with all the time that I give you, and I'm going to make sure you get results because it's legit. That was ego, right? What you did is you showed them that you actually cheated them out of ever realizing that this could be something for them. Because when you went to say, you're awesome, and you've lost 30 pounds and you're such an inspiration in our group, and you go to me and say, hey, like you've been on my dream team list forever. Your energy is amazing. And I want to do this with you. Ever consider doing what I do? They're like, oh, no way. No way. You like answer me all day long. See what I'm saying? Any light bulbs going off right now? Boing. Did for me a while ago when Danny taught me that. Target. Yeah. Like Target versus Walmart. You know what I mean? That's a good question though. Break down reverse engineering diamond in 30 to 90 days. Okay. So, which is really cool. Oh, I was just about to say, hey, can you give me my phone? I had my plan on it. I can, you know, I'd save something on there. Anyway, see, and I'm still going to survive without it. You know, I'm not going to panic. Okay. So if you're reverse engineering something like that, You have to remember that phase one is always key. You don't go into management mode. I don't care if, you have one coach, got to manage them. No, you don't. You know what I mean? Like, no, if someone keeps telling you they want to do them, their actions actually show what they want to do. So make sure you're following, their actions, and not just like dragging them along. Remember also that 80-20 rule will apply to this business, right? 20% of your customers and coaches will create 80% of your income. That doesn't mean you don't care about the other 80%, you don't love them. You're just not piling them on your back. You know what I mean? Like, once they get to a place of hate for whatever they're going through, they will know. If you have shown, this is where Facebook Live comes in and Facebook posts, they will know you're a safe place. They will know that you're still here. They will know exactly where to come when they're ready. Okay? It's like Kristen Evans. I mean, can you imagine if I would have just tried to drag Kristen Evans, right? She had to get to a place of hate, and now you guys saw her speak last week. Amazing. Okay, so to reverse engineer that, there are key things that you have to do every single week and day, okay? And the number one place that you have to start is how many times you invite to your team. Okay, how many times you invite to your team. You are not going to hit diamond by inviting 2 times a month to your team, 2 people. You know what I mean? Like, you have to think. You have to invite a large number of people, and you need to teach your coaches to do the same. Okay, and now this is where the volume starts to pick up. This is where the number of people you're reaching is powerful, because now you have a team of 10 that are doing a little, right? So they're reaching out to people off of their list like we teach, and now more lives are changing. It's powerful. Your community is growing, so it's fun. You know what I mean? It's a really cool process, but it starts with you. Hold on, I can just hear something, and that's okay.
This bathroom feeling, I'm back from upstairs.
I don't want to hear them, because sometimes there's whoever that is, mute because sometimes people actually unmute themselves and then say something really bad about me, and then it's embarrassing for all of us. That's happened before. It's embarrassing for me. It's embarrassing for them. Anyway, it's happened with their husbands before. It's funny. Okay, so that's where I would start. So give yourself a deadline. Okay, so like I said, like tomorrow by 11 a.m., I'm going to invite 2 people to my team, and I'm going to do that, Monday, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays. That's 6 a week, okay? You have to do that, okay? You have to. We all have a warm market list, okay? And that behavior is vital. Okay, the game plan that we used to have, that is one of that's vital. Okay, the next thing you have to do is, because that's planting the seed. Okay, you have to water that and protect it. You have to go live 1 to 2 a week. If you're really serious about hitting diamond and creating the income that I told you about, that first started paying for date nights for me, and then started to pay for a cleaning lady, and then someone to fold my laundry, and then a new car for our family. If you want to, these things have to happen. You can do them faster. Remember how I was saying efficient versus effective? Like, we could say just, I built the business without Facebook Live, true, right? But if you want to be more efficient and effective, you'll do Facebook Live. And that's going to cut down your time, because you are going to build more connections with people by sharing your story, sharing Facebook Live, sharing your results, sharing your life on Facebook. Okay, if you want to do it in 30 days, I'd be posting on Facebook 2 to 3 times a day. I would. You know what I mean? Because you have just, that's like, this is, but think about what I just told you. An invite to your team, 2 of them take 10 minutes max. 10 minutes, right? So remember, I posted that thing. Hold on, let me find it. I posted that thing in Team Courage about the 5-step process. Have you ever considered? It's very, very simple. Don't overthink it. Hey, girl, like I made my dream team when I was really thinking about this business and how I wanted to build it with a purpose-driven, and who I wanted to surround myself by. You were one of the first people that came to my mind. Have you ever considered doing what I do? I mean, would you be offended if you might be like, no, I don't want to do what you do. But you wouldn't be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe she wanted to surround herself by me. Do you know what I mean? Like now if you send a blanket one like I get from some people, we won't talk about that. If you send an icky one, yeah, but that's no one's gonna feel put off by you. That's number one. Have you ever considered number two, asking them, when they come back and say, I'm not really even sure what you do. You know what I mean? Like, I've kind of been interested. I've seen you posting about it. I'm kind of like, what does she do? And it's like, you have to now resist the urge to be the expert. Resist the urge to tell them everything all by yourself. Because let me tell you the message that you're sending them when you start spewing it all out, whether it be for a challenge group or for your team. You're showing them that they also will need to be the expert. So when they start to evaluate, can I do this? They're gonna be like, did you see that information? She had an answer for everything, like that. And she just kept answering it. I mean, they'll be like, that's really great, but no, I don't think so. I don't understand it like that. Do you know what I mean? There's no way, bless you, So send a third-party tool. This is where like a 3-day sneak peek, I don't do those. Some people do. In Team Courage, a 3-day sneak peek might come in. It's where, a webinar, Team Courage has like a million gazillion opportunity webinars for you to send. Or, if you've been doing this for a while, and you're diamond or above, like study the webinars, did you notice that I already said you're diamond? So we're not even talking to the people that asked this question. But if you are, and you're still on here and above, and you're like, I feel like I need to personalize this, study the webinars. So the webinars, right? I've built a business, a very large team off of those. Okay. So if it works for me, it's going to work for you. And I studied Janelle Summers, Tracy Morrow, Mindy Winder, because I really liked their flow. Okay, so study them and then reconstruct them with yourself and one or two other of your go-getter teammates. If you don't have one or two other go-getter teammates, don't use a different tool. It's not your time yet. It's not time. Okay, don't become the expert. And number 4, like after they watch it, you can tell them like, hey, watch this. Okay, and then edify, which Danny Johnson teaches, edify the person that's in it, whoever it is. So you should have watched the webinar beforehand. Okay, it is your business. Don't just kind of guess and be like, I hope this is a good one. You know what I mean? Like if it's a guy like Chris Webb, we have one with Chris Webb, watch it, edify Chris Webb. I think you're going to really connect with this guy, or the one with Chenna. I think you're going to really connect with Summer's husband. Tell why. And be like, I can't wait to check in and see what you liked best in a couple days. Check back. Okay, what'd you like best? Okay, and then you sign them up, right? So once they tell you what they liked best, now that's where you start to weave in the close. Okay, and if you're like, well, I don't know how to close people, that's why we have training for that. And closing, I know that sounds bad, but closing, if you have read Famous in Heaven and at Home by Michelle Myers, closing someone is it's mutually beneficial. But you're closing someone on something that's going to benefit them. You know what I mean? Like you're not trying to close them on something that hurts them. You know what I mean? Hopefully you truly believe it's going to serve them, and that's it. And you do that over and over and over again. And if you do that enough times, you're going to reach diamond. You want to reach it faster? Do it fast. Do more. Invite more people. Get the opportunity webinar in front of more people. That's it. I would love to know how many times you guys have gotten the opportunity webinar in front of someone. Craig Holiday taught me that was absolutely vital. And so did Janelle Summers, which on a side note about that. So remember how I was telling you guys about making goals, you know what I mean? And then making something that had a time restriction. Well, I have a goal of putting really like leaders that I respect in front of you guys, for 12 of them, for the 2017 year. And so I was like, I could hem and haw about it, right? But I gave myself a deadline. By today at 10 o'clock, I had to invite my first and favorite, right? Kind of scary. It was Janelle Summers, and I was like, here we go. It was like one of those things that you hit like return and you shut it and you run away. How many of you guys do that? I invited her, like think about that. That was an invite for me. And it was like, hey girl, have you ever considered, no, I didn't say that. What are your thoughts on, I have to look up exactly what I said. What are the chances of me landing you as a guest speaker on our call, right? And then I edified her. And then I gave her the time that it was and said, does that work for you? Okay, so that was scary, right? That was scary. And guess what? By 10:30, she had come back and said, oh my gosh, yes. And will you speak on mine? I was like, oh. Okay. So you guys get what I'm saying? Like, you can do hard things that make you sweat. You have to think, like, Janelle Summers is someone I looked up to. You know, when I still look up to her, but I'm saying, like, you know what I mean? Like, I was itty bitty. She had hit the Millionaires Club, and I was no one. Summer who? You know what I mean? Like that. Like, okay. So, okay. So then, okay, you have to water those what's it called? Those seeds you planted. That's where Facebook Live comes in. Okay. You have to share yourself. Okay. You have to, you know, it could be 4-minute little tip on how you overcame, you know, yo-yo dieting, or, you know, nighttime snacking, or the weekend bust, or whatever. Like, add value. What do you do every single morning that kind of used to hit the snooze button, and how did that help you? I mean, it could be so simple. It could be 2 minutes, but they need to get to know your personality, and you need to be excited. And don't tell me that it's not your personality, because that's bull crap. Okay. Get excited. Okay. Be excited that you have a platform where you can help people. Be excited that you actually have a solution to all the things that you hate. Get excited about it. Okay, so that's where I would spend my time. That doesn't take a lot of time, does it? I said invite to your team. You gotta invite to your challenge groups too. Invite to your team, post on social media, and go live. Don't forget to fill your funnel, but your funnel is plenty full for 30 days to diamond. It's plenty full right now. Okay, what other questions? Anything? Do I sign more coaches as challengers first, or just coaches? Like, I get a lot of people nowadays that come to me for coaching that they're like, you know, they want to coach. Like, what do you do? Like, your team looks so fun. You know what I mean? Like, I think about the leadership retreats that I share, and, you know, I show my office that's not very pretty, do you know what I mean? And I drink mimosas, not anymore, you know, but, you know, like, people always want to know, what do I do? And I always tell them that the most effective coaches, after they tell me what they want, right? I gotta know what they want. You know what I mean? What do you want out of this? What attracted you to it? What do you like best about what you're seeing? Once I hear that, I tell them that the most effective, no matter what, is an advocate. Right? It's not like, if someone is going in and out of active Shakeology, in and out of active coach, they're not an advocate. You know what I mean? And I don't want that. You know what I mean? I want someone that, like, even if coaching was taken away from us and just we could only be challengers, I would still drink Shakeology. I've drank it every day for 7 years because it's what it's done for my body. You know what I mean? I want people like that. You know, I want advocates for what we do, you know? Because there's going to be struggle, you know, there's going to be struggle, and I want them to be advocates. So if they've never been a challenge group, they have to start there with me first. I need them to start, I would need them to become, to build up that advocacy for what we do. So if that makes sense. You should switch to low acidic orange juice. Oh, I didn't think about it. I'm just going to stay away from it altogether, Aaron. Not even going to drink, not even going there. Probably won't even drink wine. I'm done. Okay. So that struggle I talked about that you have to have, if you guys get a chance, go on YouTube and watch Gary Vee and Jewel. Jewel spoke on Gary Vee's show. So good. We listened to it. I found it while I do this at retreats. I was doing my hair and doing my makeup before we went downstairs for a talk with Lauren Duke, and I listened to personal development while I did that. And it was Gary Vee and Jewel. I don't know why it caught. I was really trying to get to Stephen Furtick, but somehow that popped up and I was kind of intrigued. And I listened. It was so good. And it was talking about how vital, the struggle is not a bad thing. The struggle, there's so much good that is built during the struggle, right? And so don't get discouraged by the struggle. That's where character is built. That's where perseverance is built. That's where think about when our kids struggle to walk, like their legs are getting stronger, their calves, they're supporting muscles around their ankles and their knees and all that kind of stuff. But listen to that when you get a chance. Really good. I have started about 3 months ago, and I have only one interested in building the business. It's my husband. I have one coach under him. Should I sign coaches under a friend. No, make your friend build it. I'm just gonna be honest. You know what I mean? No, I wouldn't personally. You know, I want to, you know, I wouldn't just for the title do that. Do you know what I mean? Because it's not doing much for you really, other than giving you a title. Your income, your volume's not going to be going up. I would be, you know, first of all, I have to understand that that's very common for people not wanting to build at first. They like get surrounded by the team, you know, like think about it, all those things that we believe about ourselves, you know. So I just keep inviting. I wouldn't worry about that. Let's see. I want to reach diamond and build a team so bad, but keep struggling so much. I almost threw my hands up in the air today when someone canceled. Seriously, I know. Like, what the heck? Like, you don't even know what you're doing. It's crazy. But that happens. You know what I mean? It happens, you know. Jamie Boyer, one of my Star Diamond coaches, she quit once. Her husband came home from deployment. She just had a baby. It just wasn't for her. And, you know, and now then she came back. You know, I didn't stop loving her. You know, it happens. You know what I mean? You love them where they're at. You keep going. All you can do is offer the coffee. We have, first of all, and some of you guys have heard me speak on that, but you have the best damn coffee. You have to believe that. And we do. Like, we're not lying. Do you know what I mean? Like, it really is the best coffee. But think about it when someone comes around at Bob Evans to offer you coffee. They're not like nervous about it. They're not like, ooh, I don't know that Amanda. You think she drinks coffee? I don't think so. She has red hair. I don't think redheads like coffee. No, I'm not. I know. Look, her and her husband don't look like they're getting along right now. I'm not even going to. No, they come up. Excuse me, would you like some coffee? You know, that, you know, it's that simple. It shouldn't be any different for us, right? And it might be that not right now, you know, like when someone comes around to offer, well, this was a while ago when I drank creamer. People come around to me and Chad can be ready for some coffee. And mine will look half full, right? Like it needs added. I'm like, no, like, would you like, no, I have just the right amount of creamer. You know what I'm saying? Like when the coffee color is just perfect. And if they add coffee to it, now they're going to screw up the color. And now I got to add more creamer and I got to get it right again. No, I'd rather wait till it's gone. And then, you know, but it doesn't mean her coffee sucked. I mean, if she comes over and I'm like, no, thank you. Do you think she's going to be like, no, but did you not like it? I mean, do you know where we get the beans? They have no toxins in them. They have no nothing. Are you sure? Just try it. Just a little bit more. Do you know what I mean? They don't get like super offended, right? Right? So why do we? It's just coffee. You know, that was taught to me one time. And once you think of it like that, like, man, take it or leave it. But this is the best damn coffee. And I'm going to tell people I'm just the messenger. My job is just to send the message that life doesn't have to be that way. Whatever their life is, whatever they're telling me, wherever they're struggling, I have one solution that'll fix a lot of things. Get surrounded by a different flock. This one. Get surrounded by different flocks, and we'll you know, and we'll fix a lot of things. So let me show you. Let me get you surrounded by some amazing people. Come on. Like, I know that, and I believe that. You know what I'm saying? So we have to go in with that when we're inviting. What are your tips for those of us in an inside leg? Well, I'm not an inside leg, so keep inviting. Don't worry about where you're at in someone's leg. That's the best advice I can give you. You know, for myself, even, like, you have to think about it. You know, like, our leg is super heavy for my coach, right? So I don't get a lot added over there. You know what I'm saying? I mean, she needs to add because she needs to, you know, to hit 2-star and 3, 4, all that kind of stuff. You have to keep it balanced or whatever. So she has to. But you have to understand, like, it's not a main focus. So I wouldn't worry about that. Always filter your orders through your spouse, in my opinion, for the most part, you know, because you want to double dip into things. You know, that's a strategy of mine. Yeah, so if you're on an inside leg, okay, and I'm going to explain this a little bit. If you need to get off, no worries. It's all recorded, and you can skip forward to here. But if this is you, and I think everybody should pretend no one's building on them. I really do. I was taught that by Doug Fitzgerald. No, just, you should, like, you down. Let's take ownership of yourself down. Don't worry about what your upline is doing. That's her business or his business. That's not for you to call what they do. I remember when Doug taught that. I was like, that makes sense. Like, you know what I mean? It's not her job to do anything. My job is to take care of what I can control, right? And I can control my downline. So that would be my first advice. I would stop calling yourself on an inside leg or caring, and then I would take care of this down here. So your husband should be up close to here. Please tell me, everybody put there for maximizing the business plan right here. Okay. Or over here, but right here. Right. And now you're building on this side, but you're also building on the inside leg of him so that you're double dipping into the volume. And if you think about it, if your orders go through him, your self catches the volume and you get the commission, right? The only reason we put through here is because the Success Club trip is dangled in front of us. I'm just going to be serious, honest. I know that's not going to be the most popular, discussion right now. And I know I'm telling some people that you guys affect my elite points, but I rather you make what you hit your goals than for me to have a title. So listen, this is my personal opinion. I don't put anything through my first business center.
Other than what you have to.
Other than my own order has to be there. And yeah, so husbands need to go higher up. Okay.
Yeah, Renee.
Yeah. Okay, hold on. I struggle where to put I would always put them under. Wait a minute. I struggle where to put my Success Club points each month. I have my first, my husband, and my second.
You answered that.
Okay. I mean, whichever one maximizes your volume, Renee. So if your husband needs to, has like a ton of, I don't know where your husband's at, but if he has a ton of volume running up on his outside leg, right? And your second business center's on his inside leg, I would send all my orders through my second business center, because now he starts to cycle. Now you start to cycle more. He's on my non-team career side. That's good. I would send all the orders through him then. I would, because that'll cause you to cycle more. My left and right leg are so unbalanced. Me too. Like extreme. How do I get that balanced? My hubby's on my right. I don't know which one's is your husband on your strong leg or your weaker leg. You said you're right, but I'm not sure which one. Weaker. So then every order would go through my husband. Every order. You know what I mean? And now you're gonna have to decide, like, how do you pay for the Success Club trip, and if you signed up for it, all that kind of stuff. But business-wise, I'm talking business, I'm talking Success Club trip, I'm talking business. Unless you say to me, no, Summer, one of my goals is to earn the Success Club trip, then we got to talk differently. But I would send it through your husband. I need the business. Okay, then yes, through your husband. Do I need 100 PV going through my first and second CBCs for diamond rank? Oh, these technicalities. I don't want to tell you wrong.
Do I need what?
I think so. Yeah, I think so. You generally aren't going to struggle with that if you're building, but watch that. You need to watch that, and sometimes then you might have to put an order over there. Yeah. Any other questions? You guys are troopers, man. Or all you guys West Coasters? All my West Coasters are talking to me right now. All the East Coasters went to bed.
East Coast.
She's on the East Coast. You do need a Shakeology HD on your first CBC for the coach connection. Okay.
Thanks, Jen.
That's good. Thank you. Still hanging. Okay, you guys. For now, ask now or forever hold your peace. Just unmute yourself. This is the time. Oh, don't be scared. You gotta hate it enough. That's the question. Okay, go to bed, girl. What's the best way to get new coaches to catch the vibe of the team to get surrounded? I think once you, like a Danny Johnson event or something like that, with where the team is going, right? So get them through the door, but get them surrounded by you at dinner and around other people. They see other faces of success on our team, and they get to hug them. Do you see what I'm saying? That was key, in my opinion, for a lot of things. Or Summit. You know what I mean? Summit's pretty big, but still you can make it small with your team. And getting them on here, you know what I mean? If they can't get to something like that, get them to these calls so they can be surrounded, and, all this awesome chat, that you guys got going on. They start to feel not alone. It's really good, Get them to commit to the Spartan Race Leadership Retreat in May. if you have coaches, like get them behind that. They don't have to run it, but they're going to get surrounded by it. That would be my focus. And that has been my focus. That's what I would do with Mike. I would be trying to get them to go to that, to be surrounded, to talk, to have conversations, and to be able to breadcrumb that.
Rebecca Huff asked Facebook Live topics.
Facebook Live topics. That depends on, are you doing a small group? I haven't decided, not that far yet. I'm not sure. Facebook Live topics. So I think like a lot of my topics come from personal development. I do it every single morning. And so like I keep this book by me. And so as I'm reading things, like I'm trying to apply. So that's a big thing for me. And so I'll take notes and I'll write down. So that's where I get my topics throughout the day. Like if Chad pisses me off, it doesn't happen very much. When Chad pisses me off, I write it down, like things that I do to cool myself down. Do you know what I mean? Like my emergency checklist, or maybe I go give him a big hug anyway. Do you know what I mean? Or maybe I go take a hot bath, or you know what I mean? Those kind of things. And then I share them like on a Facebook Live from a realness, like, yo, Chad pissed me off. I gotta tell you guys this. You know what I mean? Like come in from a real place, not a, my husband never pisses me off. I mean, we have a pretty good marriage, but he pisses me off. He pissed me off yesterday, being honest. He didn't even do anything. Need more advice on that in another format. Kylie, unmute yourself so I can. So go swing from the, like, advice on marriage. Are we talking about marriage? Oh, you're sitting next to him. But you have your earplugs in so I can talk about it. He's not going to hear me talk about it. Okay, good. So she's tired of being a roommate. So let me, like, I give you guys some real quick tips if anybody struggles with this. But marriage is 100% zero. And I grew up in a household where it was 50-50. I was always told that. I was told relationships were 50-50. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying create boundaries with people that aren't sewing into you or encouraging you, but when you actually committed to marrying them, you can't really set a fence around that, you know what I mean, unless they're hurting you. But I realized that marriage was 100% zero, so I realized that I had to own it. I did a post on this the other day where I realized I had to own everything. You know what I mean? I needed to own my marriage. I needed to own our finances. I needed to own where I was at in the business. There was nobody that could push play on my business or push play on my marriage, just me. Like it had to start with me, not anybody else. Just like when you're starting a fire, you have to put the wood in if you're going to get heat. A lot of us are like, when it gives me heat, I'll put wood in. Like, so that's what I started to realize. And I started to surround myself by books that really lifted me up in that area and gave me some skills, what's the Love Dare I read. The Compound Effect taught me how to, over time, create a good marriage. It's the one that taught me how every night I write down something I love about Chad when he was deployed. Some nights it was the same thing, and it was just the sheer fact that he was hot. You know what I mean? Like, I got nothing else. He's got good hair. Do you know what I mean? Not anymore. But do you guys see? So that really, really, really helped me. And then I found out what, like I would ask him 3 ways that you could show him that you love him, because you got to figure out what his love language is. My love language is acts of service and quality time. Chaz is physical touch and more physical touch with a side of physical touch, and then sprinkle on words of affirmation, none of which are super important to me. Do you know what I mean? And so we weren't like speaking the same love language, you know what I mean? And so when you start asking them those kind of questions, you start to realize what they need. And so, he needed to feel like the king of the household. You know what I mean? Like when he walked through the door, I couldn't be like half on my phone, like, well, take the baby, I'm out. He had to, when he came in, he had to be the main focus, just like I needed quality time, like one-on-one time, and then I scheduled sex like a doctor's appointment.
But she didn't tell me that.
I didn't tell him. No, don't be like, hey, so I'm going to schedule it like don't do that.
9:07, bedtime.
Oh, yeah, 9:07. I was like, what? No, I think it's 9:46. so I started to make it a no matter what. Just like inviting for me became a no matter what. You know what I mean? Posting on social media for my business was a no matter what because I knew what I wanted. Well, I knew what I wanted. I could see where I was headed. I knew where I was headed if I kept this up with our marriage. I watched people before me, you know what I mean? And I hated it. And so I was willing to do things that I didn't want to do. I mean, if I only worked out when I felt like it, I wouldn't. You know, if I only had sex when I wanted to, I mean, give it the 5-minute rule. You know what I mean? That's what I do with working out and sex. I'm sorry.
Wow. Brutal.
So, you know what I mean? Like, give it the 5-minute rule. Do not tell me that once you get started that you're not like a little intrigued of where it's going to go. Do you know what I mean? It just means serious, you know? And so those like are non-negotiables. So ask him 3 things you could do to show him that you love him more. And 3, ask him what 3 of his pet peeves are, because you don't want to do them. Even if you like, don't get all stubborn. Don't use the, you know what I mean? Like if it's his pet peeve that for clothes to be all over the place or the bed not to be made, it could sound so simple. Just make the bed. Just make the bed. You know, if it like my pet peeve is when the alarm keeps going off over and over and over again. Just don't do that. Okay.
Got
Okay.
it.
Don't be afraid to communicate with each other. Okay. Those are good questions. That's my favorite topic, that and faith and business, I guess. No, I'm kidding. Okay.
And most husbands are the same.
Oh, that's such an easy, so I close it. That's so good, Joy. Brandon hates when the lid on the dishwashing detergent is flipped up, so she closes it. Yeah, that's good.
Awesome.
Chad hates it when I drive slow, so I try not to.
Yeah, but you drive really slow.
No, I don't. I try not to. Not once I get inside that vet, I'm going to drive fast.
Ooh.
Guess what? Chad leaves this weekend. Guess who left with the car?
Guess who's taking his keys with him?
Oh, no, you're not. I'm going to learn how to drive fast. I'll be the one, anybody where it lives here that's going really slow in the vet, you know, and you're like, does she know how to drive that thing? No, I do not. And I'm scared to death of it. So no, I'm not scared of it, but I don't want to wreck it. Okay. We good? Get a Tesla. I don't know.
No.
I don't want one. That's not on my want list. Chad, isn't that more of an environmental friendly car?
I think so.
Chad's not environmentally friendly. Just not a thing for Chad.
That's not true.
Yeah. Okay. All right, guys.
Super light.
Time for y'all to go to bed. I'll come drive it for you. I told Chad I was going to come pick you up maybe. All right, you guys. So hopefully we can share, you know, what you guys hate, you know, what excites you, and kind of get real. It's a safe place. If you're looking for a place where you can be encouraged, this is it. You know what I mean? This is a safe place to be like, dude, my marriage sucks. And no one's going to be like, tisk, tisk. Do you know what I mean? It's going to be like, let me help you with that. Like, let's go. Let's dig in. You know what I mean? And here are some tips. You know what I mean? We even did a dirty 30 one time. And the goal was to have sex for 30 days straight. That was a challenge. Remember that, Renee? Renee was part of the original Inkessa, original Dirty 30. Yeah, you do, Mary. Yeah. I mean, you're a husband. I can't wait to meet him because, you know, be like so lucky. I wish I would have known some of this stuff before. That's normal for us. That is so good. Every day that is not normal for me. So that was a push.
Teach us.
And Jen Yoder is just probably like, just once a day? Yes, Jen, just once a day. Okay, you guys. Share what you hate, share what you love, and let's work it out together. I'll talk to you guys later. See ya.